Accurate pronunciation is an important part of learning any language, especially when you're learning English. The how your speech sound can have a big impact on whether people understand you or not. Like, what's their initial impression on you? Well, there is no shortcut for having a perfect pronunciation. However, there are some ways, there are some tips, and you can practice more effectively and improve your skill a bit faster. First tip that I have for you is listen to yourself. Well, it's hard to listen to your own pronunciation errors because when you're speaking, at the time your full concentration is on communicating with the other person rather than the sounds you're making. And when you can't figure out what your problem is, what are your pronunciation errors, it's tough to correct them. So for that, you need to record yourself in your mobile phone or maybe in any gadget you have, and after that listen it attentively and mark those areas and words there you think there's some error and you need to improve on, right? So the very first step when you are working on your pronunciation is to record yourself, listen yourself, and find out the areas that you need improvements. Okay? My second tip is slow down. Well, many English learner thinks that being fluent and having an accurate pronunciation means that you need to speak faster. Well, I think it's totally wrong. It's totally just a misconception because if you're speaking way too fast, then there is a high chance of making mistake, isn't it? And when you make mistake, you may sound nervous and indecisive. So here I want to say that you don't need to speak too fast to prove yourself that you're fluent or you're having a right pronunciation or a good knowledge of English. You just need to speak slowly so that you can breathe properly and think about what you're gonna say next. Right? You have a very fair idea like what you're talking about. And then you can relax yourself and concentrate on making your English sound fantastic. Isn't it great? So, second thing you need to do is slow down and come out of the mentality that speaking fast doesn't mean that you are fluent or not, right? You can slow down, you can think beforehand what you're gonna say next is better than making mistake and speaking fast. Third tip that I have for you is study how to form your mouth and tongue for each sound. Now you have to look up how to shape your mouth and tongue when you speak English. For this, you can watch any native speaker speaking, okay, in your phone or when you watch TV, right? And then look up in the mirror and try to rematch that shape so that your face doesn't look artificial when you talk, right? So for example, when you want to make R sound, how to form your mouth, how to form your lips at that time. So for example, I'm trying to say an R sound and I'm struggling with it. So the tip here is you have to round your lips, you have to round your mouth when you are imitating an R sound. And you have to pull your tongue in lower direction toward the middle of your mouth. And you have to push your lips in the forward direction. For example, if I want to say round. So I have to give my mouth a round shape, push my lips in a forward direction and pull my tongue toward my middle of the mouth. Round, ripe, roll, right. Okay, so like this you have to practice a lot. You have to do this exercise a lot, and trust me, this is so fun when you're working on your pronunciation. Just say R a lot more time and you're gonna get used to it. Next, if you want to make an L sound, what say? How should we form a mouth at that time? So for that, you have to touch the tip of your tongue to the roof of your mouth just behind your top front teeth. Like you can even say la sound. And for this, you will notice that the tip of your tongue should touch the roof of your mouth, like light, love, lamp, right? So you can see I'm speaking very slow and I'm working on how to form my mouth. I'm studying how to shape my mouth when I'm making this sound. Lamp, like. I'm loving football. So you have to bring some examples while practicing, and it's gonna be so fun. Trust me, just try to exercise it. Now let's focus on the third sound, that is th, the sound. For this, you need to place your tongue between your teeth. But be careful, you don't have to cut. You just have to slightly put it. Right? And make sure the air flows between your tongue and your top front teeth. For example, if I want to say think. So here you say, I put my tongue between my teeth and the air flows. Think, thief, thought, think. Right? So just like this, you have to practice a lot with such sounds. Well, I have shared how to make R sound, L sound and T at sound. You can practice even more, and for this you need to read any books. You can take any lower level book when you don't need to worry about vocabulary and everything. You just need to read it aloud, okay? And make sure you pronounce it correctly, and if you struggle with something, you can just check its pronunciation on your Google, right? So well, this was for today's video. I hope you got to learn something new. I'll be back with my new video. Till then, keep learning.